Well, if you're like us and you're not ready for the baseball season to be over with and you still want to dive in and feel like you're close to it, smell like beer, smell like relish, smell like, a 3-day-old hot dog that you found out out behind Murphy's, just pull the hair off of it and the peanut shell. It still should be good, right?
Would that be 3 day rule?
3-day rule,
Yeah, 3 day
is that
rule.
a
We're good.
thing? It's a thing for hot
we're
dogs,
making
right?
we're making it a thing. We'll make it a thing.
We'll make it a thing. Boost your immune system. You'll be all right. Well, we're glad you're here with us on the Dugout Dispatch with my right-hand man, Tyler Edmonds, everybody, one of the co-hosts for Cubs on Tap. I want to talk and point. I'm going to get that down. I can barely play bass and chew gum at the same time. But
yeah, it's like the Brady Bunch.
The Brady Bunch. Tyler Edmonds, everybody. One of the co-hosts again from Cubs on Tap. I'm Steve Jewell with you on the Water Boys college football show. But, thank you guys again for tuning in. And we're just kind of going to kick things off with giving some final thoughts, our opinion on how the World Series of 2025 played out between the Blue Jays and the Dodgers. Dodgers came in clutch, man. That payroll came in clutch of all those superstar players for the Dodgers, and they ended up winning Game 7. I'm just happy that we got 7 games. Like I've said before, if your team is not in the World Series, I think the best outcome is getting a full 7 games of the World Series. What do you think?
That's the best words in sports is Game 7, right? I mean,
absolutely.
That was one of the greatest, most entertaining back and forth World Series I've seen since, and I'm going to sound biased, but since 2016. Yeah. Because you can say what you want about 20. I mean, people, Tyler, you're being biased. You look at the storyline and what was on the line in 2016 between those two franchises and them going to Game 7 and what even happened in that Game 7. That's like a storybook type thing. This was that. And I saw it somewhere, but it just, you feel for, I was nervous that whole series. I mean, we texted back and forth about it, and I didn't even have a dog in the fight. And what sucks, you feel so bad for Toronto because they were so close. Yeah. And like I said, I saw it somewhere. It sucks for Blue Jays fans because they're not going to ever be able to realize just how beautiful that World Series was, because, and I get it from their standpoint, because they got all the way right there to the top of the mountain and just couldn't seal the deal. But dude,
and you hate it for Don Mattingly too. Like, you really wanted to see him finally get a ring,
for sure. But man, what a series, dude. What a series. And we can sit here and talk about payroll and all that kind of stuff, and we'll hear about it all off season for the next year or two. But I mean, you could arguably say that some of the guys that contributed for the Dodgers were the guys that weren't the high paid guys. But what a series, man. What a series.
Like Will Klein, he's one of the first names that I think of, a pitcher in game 3, I think, right? When the 18 innings one.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure. There was a lot of guys, a lot of, I don't want to say no-name guys, but a lot of guys most fans may have not heard of that just, they made their mark this series. They put their name on the map, and there's several guys, and like you said, we're going to talk about, there's several guys this series that I'm excited to see how they do next year.
Yeah, and who stays, of course, who goes as we're officially into the off season. And there was guys for both teams, that even helped throughout the postseason, getting them to the World Series. One of the first guys that I can think of comes off the top of the head, Ben Rotford, I think is how you say his last name. He was a catcher for the Dodgers. He was with the Yankees last season. Started this season with Tampa Bay. In the middle of the trade deadline, got picked up by the Dodgers, and he played great in the postseason when Will Smith was out. They were calling him Benny Bicep on the broadcast. I'm sure he loved that. But, had some great ABs, played great from the catcher position behind the plate, and definitely contributed to them getting to the World Series and ultimately winning the World Series. So, it takes a village, right?
Oh, and
It
hopefully,
takes everybody.
in like him, for example, hopefully guys like that don't get forgotten or don't get unnoticed because like you
Yeah.
said, technically they may not be on that World Series roster, but like you said, you play 162,
Yeah.
and there's things throughout the season. Like you said, Will Smith was on the shelf for a minute, and for a guy like him to step up when they needed him, even if
Yeah.
he's not on the playoff rosters, it's huge. And I know, the Blue Jays, I can't name any off the top of my head, but I know the Blue
Bo
Jays had
Bichette,
guys like that.
Addison
Exactly.
Barger for sure. When Springer
Yeah,
got hurt and Bo Bichette, I think he started DHing maybe and
I
playing
think so.
outfield.
But it's just hopefully a lot of those guys don't go unnoticed and you could do it for all the World Series, the past several World Series. Just go back and look at some of those guys that didn't make that roster, but still contributed to technically them getting there.
Yeah. And Will Klein, one of my favorite stories for the Dodgers, like I talked about on the last episode, he didn't even know a month prior to the postseason if he was even going to make the postseason roster, yet alone be in the World Series. And then, you're like, I think 14 innings in at the time, and you're needing pitching depth from your bullpen, and they called him up, and I think he pitched about 4 innings, and the rest is history at this point. But, you were kind of talking about earlier, and we've talked about it, some. I'm sure we'll talk about it more, especially in the offseason, is what the Dodgers doing bad for baseball with the amount of money that they have access to. And I saw this on Fox Sports MLB on X. I thought this was interesting from Caleb Joseph, Sportsnet analyst Caleb Joseph. He had a quote that said, "It's going to sound like sour grapes, and I don't really give a blank. I think the better team did not win the World Series. I think the Blue Jays are the better team." And then Kike Hernandez comes in on Instagram with a quote, "I'm so happy the better team didn't win."
I mean, a lot of people can say, "Oh, that's unprofessional from a sports analyst," but that just shows the passion of Blue Jays fans. And
Yeah.
you could say what you want about the reporters and everything. Oh, he's being biased and blah blah blah. And it's like they're there for the full 162 too. And you
Yeah.
watch that series, you go back, you look at Game 6, well, you look at that Game 3 that went 18 innings and all that. You look at certain points of each game in the series, you're like, man, if only this happened or that happened. And maybe this is a different story. Maybe it is the Blue Jays that come out on top. And I mean, I get it from his, you're heartbroken. You haven't been to the Worlds. You haven't won a World Series since what, 93. I get it, man.
Yeah.
And hey, the Blue Jays, as far as putting the ball in play and everything like that, and just being just like that nagging thorn in the Dodgers side, just always coming back. And like you said, a bunch of guys, a bunch of kids that you hadn't heard. Ernie Clement, a guy for the Blue Jays that broke the record for the most hits in a single postseason. I want to say he got 30. He broke Randy Arena's old record from 2020. I think he had 29 hits.
Yeah.
But guys like him, and like you said, Barger, those, I mean, I feel for that guy. I feel that reporter saying, the better team didn't win. I get it, man. And especially going up against a team like the big, bad, expensive Dodgers and all that. I can understand where he's coming from, dude, but it just,
Yeah. I
you
mean,
just
we've
feel
talked about it, and we'll talk about it some more. Some of these teams had a chance to sign these players.
They did. They did.
Like
and
the Red Sox had a chance to keep Mookie Betts. The Braves had a chance to keep Freddie Freeman, and they had the money to do it. But
I mean, I've said that before too, and it's just I agree, and I get it. People are going to say, "Well, it's L.A." and I also get you got Ohtani, and so there's that you got that going for you as far as convincing players to come to your organization and building that chemistry and just growing that system. And I get that, but each team can do more than what they're actually doing. So they can say what they want. People can say what they want about, they're, the Dodgers ruined baseball and everything like that and blah, blah, blah. I look at it this way. They're investing in winning. and they're taking advantage of their situation. They're taking advantage of where they're at in the country in LA, and they're saying, "Hey, we're going to invest in this because there's a team just across the street in Anaheim that's not doing that, and it shows." So
it's frustrating, dude.
It is. I can only.
They were
imagine.
one of the first teams to hire their new manager, Kurt Suzuki, and I feel so bad right now for Kurt Suzuki because I've heard nothing.
1-year deal.
Yeah, I've heard nothing that he's a great guy, and I'm sure he'll do well as the team manager. But he only signed a 1-year deal. Like, how can you turn a program around?
But just for them for them to be right across the street.
Nuts.
Their former superstar in Ohtani goes over to the neighbor's house and is just crushing it. And they're over there at the party right now, having their World Series party. And the Angels are just sitting there, next door, just looking over through the window, just that stinks.
Yep.
But yeah, man.
Outside looking in.
Yeah,
you gotta love it.
Which back to Ernie. I know we were talking about Blue Jays real quick. And we haven't even got there's one more guy for the Dodgers we have to talk about. But just one little fun fact about Ernie Clement real quick. Did you know? I did not know this. At the beginning of the season, or maybe it was sometime during the season, the glove that he wore in the playoffs, he bought on eBay this year because it was broke in.
Wow. I love that. That's smart.
All his other gloves were not fully broke in. And so he bought this glove off eBay because it was broke in and everything like that. And he's like, I needed a glove. It was broke in. And what sucks is he tried to go back and find the buyer or find the seller, and he done deleted his eBay account. So somewhere out there, there's some guy probably telling everybody, I sold Ernie Clement his glove, and they're just like, yeah, you're full of crap, dude.
And you have no proof now.
I just thought that was cool. I saw that today.
That is cool, man. I love that. Super cool. And recapping and coming to our closing, like, final thoughts of the World Series, we can end with this. The day and age that we live in, sports betting is more popular than ever before. It's insane, and sometimes it can be fun, just to see if you did your homework or if your gut instinct is hitting you right. But I don't know if I've ever had, like, this much gumption to go with my gut instinct to lay this much money. Saw this on Instagram a couple of days ago. Man sells everything he owns and borrows money to place a $225,000 bet on the Dodgers to win the series. Oh my God, can you imagine? I'm assuming he put this in, I'm assuming, I don't know, at the beginning of the World Series. If he did, like, holy cow, I can't imagine his blood pressure and how many beers he had.
Crapping his pants all series. Like, what did it say what he ended up winning?
I think it probably has it on the picture of the receipt. It looks like that's like at the very bottom, maybe.
Yeah, it looks like 100 and I can't read that. Like maybe like 190,000.
I'm sure the odds probably wasn't too high, being because the Dodgers were favorited, but I'm assuming maybe it was around 100,000 is what he won total.
That's crazy, dude. That's nuts. But
that's insane.
Yeah, but we can't conclude the World Series talk though without one more guy. Yeah, we can say Ohtani. You can say what you want about Ohtani. Well, a couple things. You could, I guess, to back it up a little bit. Ohtani, at least in Game 7, pitching wise, wasn't his best. Game 6, though, Yoshinobu Yamamoto.
Oh, yeah.
Holy crap. Here's the thing. I said this over at Cubs on Tap in our prediction episode at the beginning of the season. We were doing stuff as far as who do we think is going to win this or that, and we talked about Cy Young. I predicted Yamamoto to win the NL Cy Young, which he won't. But I also said that he is going to prove to everybody this season why he is the highest paid pitcher in baseball.
100%.
And this series alone, we won't even talk about the playoffs alone, because he threw a complete game against the Brewers in the NLCS. But this series alone, he proved to the world why right now he is the highest paid pitcher in baseball. You throw how many innings did he throw in Game 6? I don't think he threw a complete. He threw a complete game in Game. What was that? Game 2. He throws a complete game in Game 2. Comes out in Game 6, and I know it wasn't a complete game, but still, throws in game 6, and then comes in game 7 and closes the door in games after a wild, completely just crazy. As far as sorry not to go. I mean, just because there's just so much stuff when you talk about.
Dude.
You bring up game 7. We talk about game 6. Just a wild 9th inning in both games. The 9th inning in both games, will be talked about and
for a long time.
That'll be there. With, you talk about the moments of the Red Sox and the Yankees in the 04 ALCS. Kirk Gibson against the A's back in the World Series. The wild Cubs and Indians game when Chapman gives up the game time home run. There's a rain delay and all that stuff. These two games will be combined together because wow, dude, you've got, and I know we were closing up on the World Series, but it's I can't help it.
Right.
You got game 6. What is it? Game 6, 9th inning, 3-1. You get runners on 2nd and 3rd. You end up doing nothing with it. You get a ball from the Blue Jays that gets lodged into the bottom of the fence. Everyone's like, holy crap. And then they go back and look and they're just like, yeah, it was actually lodged in there. And then for that game to end with a double play from Kike Hernandez, right? That's crazy in its own right. Then you go to game 7. It's crazy. How do we go from here?
Keep going.
Here, but
keep going.
Then you go to game 7.
He's hot. Keep going.
The 9th inning, you're down by 1 run, 1 out. You see Miguel Rojas up. You're just like, okay, if he can just, all I'm thinking the whole time, and I'm sure everyone else is, get on base for Ohtani.
Yeah.
Get on base for Ohtani. And what does he do? What does he do, Steve? What's he do?
Seals the deal. Won the
Smacks
game.
A game time home run with 1 out that just goes over the fence and which Jeff Hoffman, you could argue that guy was kind of, because he was going on a stretch where he hadn't give up a home run.
Yeah.
And so it's almost like he was due. And
Absolutely.
Not to sound biased being a Cubs fan, but it's almost like when you go back and watch game 7 with Aroldis Chapman in that 8th inning, it's it sucked, but then it's kind of like, man, he's been dominant all playoffs. Okay, maybe he was due.
Absolutely.
But same thing with Hoffman. And for that, then just to go from that to the crazy IKF play that everybody's going, his secondary and blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry, but I'm on the side that I don't think IKF cost them the game as far as not taking a bigger secondary lead with 1 out. That's just me. And I'll give you a chance to talk here in a second. I'm sorry.
No, I love it. You're on a
game
hot
7.
Keep
it's
going.
Fans are going to look at this series and try to pinpoint and figure out, well, this is what cost them that game, right? I'm sorry. I get it from the Blue Jays standpoint because you just lost and you're trying to, well, if this would have happened, you could say, oh, well, if Trey Savage wouldn't have hung a splitter and gave up a home run, we wouldn't have been here anyways. If we would have capitalized on some of our run scoring opportunities in game 6, the series wouldn't have even gone to game 7. So it's just crazy. But yeah,
and from a pitching standpoint, the 2 notable pitchers from each team that I think will be talked about, obviously, going in the off season and beyond. Trey Savage for the Blue Jays, just phenomenal performance throughout the World Series. And, of course, Yamamoto. And I was looking at some of his World Series stats. So, for the overall World Series, he had 17 and 2/3 innings. He allowed just 2 earned runs with 2 walks and 15 strikeouts. I mean,
it's video game numbers, man.
Exactly. That's why he gets the big bucks.
Because just going back that you in the pre-show, I said I saw the little note about MLB The Show. In MLB The Show, after that first complete game against the Brewers, the second complete game he threw in game 2, his energy levels, it's not completely full. And then in game 6, his energy level is definitely not full. And then in game 7, his stamina level is probably in the yellow to red when he goes out there to throw in game 7. And he's probably going on because there's a point in MLB The Show where when your pitcher's out, it says it in big letters, pitcher out of energy. Yeah. If this was in MLB The Show, when he came in game 7, it was going to say pitcher out of energy. And he's just 100%. I don't give a crap.
No, this is
I'll
all
show
for
you
everything.
guys.
You know,
But
you can't beat that, and that's again what makes October and when baseball postseason baseball so amazing because you're seeing different matchups that you typically wouldn't see throughout the regular season with bullpen
matchups,
options and
plays, just
yeah.
dude.
No
Oh, and
ghost runner.
another
I love
thing.
the no ghost runner. I love that when it goes to extra
I
innings.
do.
I mean, I
Yeah, I do
appreciate it in the
too.
regular season, but in the World Series, I love the no
Yeah.
ghost runner.
And then game 7, I forgot about this one. What about was it the ninth? Was it the ninth inning when Andy Pages came in as a defensive replacement in center field and almost barrels over Kike Hernandez
Yeah, to
and
get that
catches that
catch.
ball? When
Yeah,
in the moment you're watching it's almost like the camera's more on Kike and you see the
yeah,
route he takes and you're watching Kike and I'm just like, this game's over. He's not getting that ball. Like he's not, and then just
yeah.
out of the blue, Pages is just like, I don't give a crap. I can't hear nothing. I'm catching this ball even if I have to barrel over you, and he did. And
Trying to give
for a,
Pete Crow Armstrong a
for
run for his
a
money.
second, I thought that's how the world. Could you imagine how that ended the World Series? Freaking Andy Pages, who hasn't hit worth a crap in the playoffs, just blows it for him, and then saves the
Crazy.
game.
And stranger things has happened,
It's
man.
crazy how
Stranger things has
we were
happened.
sitting here about to conclude on everything, and it's just like, yeah, but it just goes back
Didn't
to
have
show
the
what you
heart to
said at the
end it.
beginning, man. Just how awesome this World Series was, and it's one
Yeah.
that we will talk about. We'll talk about for a while, yeah.
And we got the numbers to prove it. There's already numbers coming out on views right now for the World
Hmm.
Series in different games. 25.9 million viewers for Game 7 of the 2025 World Series, and only 16.4 million for the 2025 NBA Finals Game 7.
Dang, Steve,
So,
I'm not a mathematician. I don't know if you are, but what is that? Almost 10 million more viewers.
mm-hmm,
And they say baseball was a dying sport and nobody watched it, but everybody watched
right?
NFL and football or NFL and basketball.
Right. What about this one? Game
Ah,
7 of the
yeah,
World Series had 40.8K, so a little over 40,000 more live viewers than the previous Super Bowl did with the Eagles and the Chiefs.
that's impressive. And I get it. I think those numbers are
Mic
based
drop,
off.
baby.
I think those numbers, like that right there, is based off like the social numbers. But
Yeah.
still, everything I
It's
watched a lot of
encouraging.
I watched a lot of the World Series on my phone. I watched it through what was it? Playback or whatever it was. But most people are watching
Yeah.
their stuff or is watching that through that anyways. And so yeah,
Yeah.
that's huge and that's great to see. Um, yeah,
You know,
you've got the looming possible lockout coming up. But
right.
right
And
now, at this moment in time, that is awesome to see, and it shows that right
absolutely.
now the game's in a good spot.
And I've had my own thoughts and opinions on this, for a little while the past couple of years baseball is getting more viewership and maybe you're seeing numbers change. I won't say decline, but change for other sports. I've been saying it for a while now. I think the overall product for NFL is watered down. It's not the same like it used to be. It's being more offense driven than it is defense driven.
Mm.
And also the price gouging that goes on just to
Oh,
watch a freaking NFL game now. And I've only been to one NFL game, but when I think about the NFL game that I went to in 2018, the money that I spent on that one NFL game, I could go to a 3 or 4 game series at Wrigley Field and make like a mini vacation out of it and have arguably a better time.
yeah.
And all the activities that goes on at some of these fields, whether be it Wrigley or Globe Life Field when I went there, everything that goes on there, and of course Truist Park, they got the Battery, they even have lodging there, the Omni Hotel, like.
Yep.
I can't wait. That's a bucket list thing for me is to go back and watch a Braves game at home in Atlanta.
You want to watch it
And
in the pool, don't you? You want
yeah,
to
or
sit
from
up
the
there in the
hotel
pool,
balcony.
look up over there through the balcony. Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely, man.
I tell you what, my sister-in-law's husband did that one year at a bachelor party, and he said it was awesome.
That's
And I was like,
awesome.
heck yeah, that sounds good. But hey, back you talking about the viewers and all this kind of stuff, and just the way where the game's headed. And back to what you were talking about with people saying with the Dodgers and ruining baseball, blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry, but between the Dodgers and the Blue Jays, these high paying teams, these
Yeah,
money paying teams is what has helped those numbers. You
a hundred
people can say
percent.
what they want, but
Throw
you
the
get a
Yankees
team
in
like
there
the
too. You
yeah,
know,
you
Aaron
get a
Judge.
team like the Dodgers and a team like the Blue Jays, who are I want to say they're top 5 in payroll, and you've got that. And yeah, I get it. You get you have Canada in there that helps with the viewership. You have Japan as well. Largely Japan. They are helping. I mean, people can cry and moan and whatever they want about. Oh well, the Dodgers are ruining. They're actually, in my opinion, they're saving baseball.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, some people can't see, sometimes even as fans or in life, whatever you want to pinpoint it to, we can't see the forest because of the trees or the tree right in front of us. And so if you just only watch baseball and you don't watch any other sports, I could get how someone may have that perspective. But when you look at things across all the other sports that we have in this country, it's great for baseball. I can see how diehard baseball fans, especially if you're not a Dodgers fan, may be mad at a team like the Yankees or the Dodgers because they have more money to spend or do spend more money than your team. But again, two things. It's good for baseball because look at the viewers that's coming in from
Yep.
Japan. Look at the viewership that we had from Canada this year. Their one and only MLB team of the whole country was in it. We broke another record. This is the first time a World Series started in a different country and ended
Mhm.
in a different country. So that's really cool. And, as it's bringing all these viewers in, I think it's also making people remember how baseball was their first love.
Yeah.
It was my first love. It was the first game that I ever played. So many kids, when you're a young kid in school growing up, so many more kids play baseball than probably any other sport because
Oh,
the
sure.
access to entry, and then some of them, grow up loving it, and maybe they don't play professionally, but maybe they contribute in other aspects. Maybe they're broadcasters or commentators, or,
For sure.
they're just dudes like us that, have a podcast and love just to chop it up about baseball. So,
Just
and
talk about stuff, and we don't even
yeah,
know what we're talking about half the time. But still, it's just we're just two redneck hicks that
there you go.
enjoy talking about this sport that we love. Yeah.
And it's so awesome to see these guys like Aaron Judd, Mookie Betts, Shohei Ohtani, Yamamoto. They're so good for the sport of baseball. So many more people are getting turned on to these guys. You see, the branding deals that's come into MLB in the past couple of years. You see Shohei Ohtani like on all of the freaking New Balance shoe commercials and ads and stuff like that.
Yep.
So that's getting branding out there for baseball. Of course, who was it? Dansby Swanson and another player I think was in all of the Dairy Queen commercials this year during the regular season. So that was definitely cool to see
Oh
more
yeah.
branding
Yeah. Yeah.
opportunities like that. And um, baseball's making a comeback, man. It's riding right up there.
Yeah.
Right behind maybe NFL as far as like certain viewerships and fandom and stuff like that. But we'll see what happens. But they already have the odds out for the 2026 World Series. So we got the Dodgers, of course, at the top for plus 370 for you sports bettors out there. Yankees are sitting at plus 750. Phillies are in the 3 spot at plus 1100. Astros at plus 1300. Seattle Mariners are at plus 1300. Mets are at plus 1500. Boston Red Sox are at plus 1600. Atlanta Braves are at plus 1600. Brewers are at plus 2000. I'll just go with that. Blue Jays are at plus 2000, and the Padres are at plus 2,000. The biggest thing that I noticed right out of the gate is the gap between the Dodgers and everybody else.
Oh yeah. I mean, and at this moment in time, are we even surprised? No, not really. And I'm
Right.
sure it'll change throughout this offseason just based on where people go. And to be honest, those odds may even go up more for the Dodgers depending on what happens. So
Yeah,
I'm not surprised. I'm really not. And
not
who
surprised.
knows? Maybe right now is a good time to take a couple of bets on next year's World Series because if those odds are so high right
Yeah.
now, I mean, come on, what are the odds? Are the Dodgers going to three-peat? Maybe, but maybe not. Maybe
Is the
not.
Dodgers going to
So
be a dynasty? That'll be
Yeah.
the big question this offseason.
Oh, I would say
We'll see what
I would say
happens.
they already are, but I mean, yeah, I'm
Right.
not surprised. I'm really not.
I'm not either. I am surprised, though, however, on some of the American League and National League Gold Glove winners that's been
Oh yeah.
announced. So starting with American League in the outfield, we got Stephen Kwan from Cleveland Guardians. We got Raphael. Of course, it's got his Boston picture up here. We know he's with the San Francisco Giants now.
Oh no, that's
Abreu.
no, that's Rafaela. That's a no.
Oh,
That's
Raphael. I got
yeah,
it
yeah,
wrong.
yeah, yeah.
Thank you for correcting me. So
Yeah, yeah.
Rafaela, who still is, as of now, with center field for the Boston Red Sox. It's small on my end. I need to get my eyes checked, don't I?
Well, like
And then
you see Rafael. That's the thing too. I see that, and I almost in my head I think of Devers, and it's just like
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly. Hey, you can't be right all the time, right? As my dad would say. Can't be wrong all the time either. But we got Abreu, right field for the Boston Red Sox. And shortstop, we've got from Kansas City Royals, Bobby Witt Jr., third baseman. I'm kind of going all over the place, but third baseman, we got Garcia there. And we've got Seisman. I can't hardly read. I really do need to get my eyes
Marcus
checked.
Semien. Marcus
Semien.
Semien. Yeah.
I can't pronounce it right. For second base, Ty France for first base, baby. And Tyler, I'll go ahead and let you read the catcher and the pitcher. I can't read.
Looks
Max
like
Fried's the pitcher.
Dylan Dingler, and then Dubon for Houston, your utility guy. But
Congrats to those guys, especially Bobby Witt
man.
Jr.
Yeah, good for Bobby Witt Jr.
Big fan
Which good for all of them. But I mean, I didn't realize Ty France was that great of a fielder. I guess he is. Which I'll be honest, Vladdy in the postseason really caught my attention as far as fielding. But yeah,
And Ty France didn't even play, I don't think, until
he didn't play that much. It's crazy. Yeah, but
Yeah.
no, congratulations to those guys. I think Boston was so close to getting all three of their outfielders. I cannot remember who their left. Duran. Yeah,
Duran.
I think Duran was on the list, and yeah,
Duran.
that'd been kind of cool. But
I get him.
Great. Congratulations, those guys.
Congrats to all the American League winners, especially if some of them's on your favorite team. Now for the NL. I mean, you know, as Cubs fans, it's awesome just to see three right out of the gate right there on it. For left field, congratulations for Mr. Ian Happ. Center field.
Fourth in a row.
Fourth in a row,
for
baby.
Mr. Happ.
And first for Pete Crow Armstrong. So happy for that kid, man. He's
Yeah.
so electrifying to watch. Fernando Tatis Jr. in right field. Then starting at third base, Ke'Bryan Hayes, arguably one of the best third basemen in the game, especially in the
NL. He got traded during the season, too.
Yep. From the Pirates to the Cincinnati Reds. Mm-hmm. And Mason Wynn at shortstop for the St. Louis Cardinals. Our boy Nico Horner. Is this his second or third?
Second. It's his second.
Second. No. I was at the ceremony last year at one of the games.
Which is crazy. That's crazy because he went from shortstop, which he was playing a Gold Glove caliber shortstop, lost to Dansby Swanson. Dansby's last year with the Braves. Moves to second base, and he's already won 2 Gold Gloves there, so that's impressive.
Exactly. Congrats to all of our Cubbies in there. It's our third and final Cubby. They got a Gold Glove for the NL. And at first base, Matt Olson. You and I can make an argument for Michael Busch for sure. Tune in to Cubs on Tap. Yeah. Maybe they will.
Even though I'll give it to Olson though. Like he's in line, which I think you can vote. You can vote for platinum glove winners until what is today? The 4th. I want to say the 5th or the 6th. And Olson and Tatis Jr. are both in line they both could possibly win their second platinum gloves in their career.
Yeah, absolutely. For the pitcher, on the pitching side, Logan Webb, catcher, Patrick Bailey.
Very underrated catcher people don't ever think about because everyone thinks, oh, well, offensively, blah, blah, blah. Very underrated catcher defensively, Patrick Bailey.
Absolutely. And the utility guy, I can't read his name really well. Can you see it?
Sanoha of the Marlins.
Sanoha. I'm not too familiar with him.
Yeah, I'm not either. And Miami Marlins fans, apologize. I'm sure you guys are screaming right now like, hey, it's such a such. I'm sorry.
Love Kyle Stowers. One of my favorite players that wasn't a Cub to watch this year.
Yeah, the park's cool.
I'll say that.
The park's underrated too.
Love Florida.
It looks
especially
like
in the
George.
wintertime.
We'll say their park looks like a George
Yeah.
Foreman grill on the outside, but on the inside, it's pretty cool. But yeah,
It is pretty
congratulations,
cool.
those guys, man. That's a big deal for a lot, especially the younger players that are, and not to sound biased, but a guy like PCA and even guys like Cabron Hayes that are working towards those, their first actual big contract once they're done with
Yeah.
arbitration, and stuff like this is just going to help increase that number, that
Yeah.
final number that they can sign for. So
Absolutely.
congratulations, those guys.
Congrats to all those Gold Glove winners from the AL and the NL. And we'll see how things play out for next season. But getting into off-season stuff, man, there's already all kinds of crazy stuff going on. Just post I've seen on X today about who's opting out here, who's getting picked up, trade rumor, free agent stuff. So we're going to get right to it, starting with some Padres news. Padres closer Robert Suarez has opted out of his contract and will become a free agent this offseason. Talking about a good pickup for somebody, man. Let me look up
Oh
his
yeah,
stats real
he's a
quick.
guy that he was their closer last year in San Diego. I want to say what I think he finished with almost 40 saves or around 40 saves. He's a guy that he was almost a sure thing in that ninth inning, and like everybody knows, the last three
40,
outs are arguably the
second in the
hardest.
league.
Yeah, the last three outs are the hardest to get, and
Check this
it's
out. A 0.9 whip is what he ended the season with.
that's impressive. That means, for guys that aren't really into this, that basically means that per outing, he has let less than one average. He has average on average let less than one player on base, which
Be it a walk or a
as a
hit.
bullpen guy alone, but as your closer, that's freaking awesome. And
Yep.
he's a guy that is going to make some money this offseason, at least for next year.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's a pickup that any team, and not just our Cubs, any team uh,
Right.
would love to have, because
Such a stud. Such a
closers
stud.
are very rare.
Looks like Andrew Kittredge is going back to Baltimore. I
Yeah, I
thought
want to
that was
say
interesting.
what was it? I think he was owed 8 or 9 million or something like that, and I think the Cubs could
Mm-hmm.
have bought him out. I want to say they could have bought it out for 1 million. They ended up trading him back to Baltimore, which he was good. He was good on that final stretch. That second half with Chicago, especially in the playoffs. He was a
Yeah.
guy that closed a little bit. You had Brad
And an
Keller close.
opener.
He
Used him as
opened
an
a little
opener a
bit.
couple times.
But he's a guy. He's a little bit older, but I think he's still a guy that can contribute with the Orioles. And who knows? Maybe
Yeah.
he gets traded. He may get traded by the deadline next year, depending on how the season goes. But
We'll
yeah,
see what happens. And we got some new hirings as well. The Atlanta Braves have named Walt Wise or Weiss. Is it Wise?
Walt Weiss. Walt Weiss.
Walt Wise as a new
He's a
manager.
guy. I feel like I think he's been in that organization for a while. That Brave spot, man. The Braves just had a bad. They just had a bad start to the season and just couldn't catch up with everybody else. When you start off, I want to say, don't quote me, but I think historically it was one of the worst starts of their entire franchise.
Yeah.
And when you got a guy
Acuna
like
going out early, and then
Acuna was out at the
Strider
beginning
didn't
of the
come back
year.
till later, I don't think.
Strider came back later. You had Chris Sale getting hurt in the middle of the season, coming off a
Oh,
season
yeah.
that he wins the Cy Young. So a lot of you have Austin Riley getting hurt. You have all those things, and so with them healthy, that they're going to be good next year. And Walt Weiss is a guy that, like I said, he's been in that organization for a while. I would have loved to seen, not to sound Cubs biased, I would have loved to seen a guy like David Ross, or I want to see Mark DeRosa coach somewhere. I really do. I know he's coaching Team USA in the World Baseball Classic. Man, I would love to see what he would do with managing a clubhouse and everything like that. But Walt Weiss fits there perfect. He is that organization. I'm sure the guys there respect him and everything like that. And I'm sure next season they're going to be back, especially with everybody healthy. They're going to be back to their normal selves.
Yeah. Absolutely. The Mariners announced they have promoted Gabe Kapler from assistant general manager to general manager. So some Marlins.
Yeah, that's just a classic case, I think, of the Marlins trying to
Be cheap.
save money. So it's like, yeah, let's get Gabe up in here. Who I don't know. I mean, I know things didn't work out when he was with the Giants. I mean, he had one season. I feel like I want to say one season they either won the division. I do remember a playoff series with them and the Dodgers just a few years ago. But the Marlins are just the Marlins.
They're just
I don't
Marlins.
know. So yeah, I mean,
and we got to give a shout out, some love to a Kentucky boy. I forgot about this earlier when we were talking about the World Series.
yeah.
For the 6th straight year, Will Smith with the LA Dodgers has won the World Series.
Whoa, hang on. Will Smith has won the World Series. Sorry, a player named Will Smith has won the World Series 6 years in a row. Will Smith,
not Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, not that good Will Smith.
Well, Will Smith for the Dodgers won it in 2020, and then he also won it last year and this year. Will Smith, the relief pitcher, won it between 21 and 23.
I totally
yeah, they're two different.
I read this wrong.
There's two different Will Smiths, but no, still, it's crazy. It's still
that is crazy.
It makes me want to we got to get a player named Will Smith on our team, because when Will Smith, so in 21 with the Braves, after Will Smith won, in 22 with the Astros after he won, the running joke was, oh, Will Smith's got to be, Will Smith, you need to get Will Smith on. And when the Rangers got him, it was a joke like, oh, yeah, they're going to win the World Series now because they got Will Smith on their team. And they won. And
Ain't that crazy?
But yeah, as far as Will Smith from the Dodgers, that's crazy. It's cool to see the kid from Louisville, Louisville Cardinal, win his third one too. But yeah, I saw that too, and I think
we need one more Will Smith in the MLB to make it even more confusing.
Yeah, sure. But
I love it.
Yeah, I like seeing those crazy stats, especially like at the end of the year, stuff like Will Smith, stuff like Ernie Clement, getting his glove from eBay and stuff like that. And I'm sure there's other stories that we'll hear too, just about a lot of these guys postseason and everything like that. But
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely. Now, something I want to get your thoughts on, because I've only been playing MLB The Show the last two, so 2024 and this one.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
And I've thoroughly enjoyed both. But what's your thoughts on this year's MLB The Show that came out? Any pros and cons?
So I've been playing MLB The Show since I bought a PlayStation 3 strictly for MLB The Show. Like every PlayStation I've owned since, I want to say the only game that's been played is MLB The Show. But as far as, and I play it every year. There's been some good and some bad between between each year. And this time of year, you've got the finest program about to drop, which is arguably like the best program. If you like playing on Diamond Dynasty, which I'm a Diamond Dynasty guy, I like doing that. I like building the team. I like grinding for all them cards. Absolutely. And the finest program.
Double XP weekend, baby.
Yeah. And the finest program plus the World Series / playoff programs are arguably the best programs. Other than you've got the All-Star program that comes out, but then you've got them later in the season. You got the finest and the playoffs. But
and the Conquest stuff, I thought that was really cool this year versus last year. The Conquest stuff.
Oh yeah, the Conquest stuff's cool. The Diamond Quest is pretty cool. I'm actually in the process of playing that right now because I'm trying to get the Extreme Program cards, and if you're not careful, you'll shatter your controller trying to beat the Extreme Program. But it's fun. A lot of the times, at least in Diamond Dynasty lately, it just feels like they've just recycled the same cards. It sucks when a player retires. So like Anthony Rizzo, I've got that Anthony Rizzo spot, the neon card of Anthony Rizzo. This will be his last. I think it will be his last card until it's a weird thing. It's like once the player retires, it has something to do with the Players Association. Like Pujols, for example. There's not a Pujols card this year because he retired just a few years ago. And I want to say until he's out of the league for it's like so many years, they don't bring that card back in the game. It's crazy because I would love a Pujols on the team right now. But it's the same way with Anthony Rizzo. I feel like next year he probably won't be in the game because he just announced his retirement.
Yeah.
Kershaw, there's a chance. Same thing with him. Since Kershaw's retiring this year, I'm pretty sure he probably won't. And again, I don't know the exact thing. I think it has something to do with the Players Association, but I do know that they are, at least in the past few years, they have brought back a lot of the steroid guys. And there's one guy that they haven't brought back that I wish they bring back next year, and that's Barry Bonds. And if not Barry Bonds, I feel like
we got
he's
Sosa.
one.
Why can't we get Barry Bonds?
You got Sosa, you got McGuire. This year it was Roger Clemens. I'm calling it right now. I'm going to bet next year the surprise. There's always each year is a surprise player. This year it was Roger Clemens. Next year will probably be Alex Rodriguez.
Ooh, that would be a good
because Barry Bonds has been a hard guy to get. I thought they would have got Barry Bonds by now. You know, I don't know if it's something to do with his side or San Diego Studios side, but I think we're gonna get, because A-Rod has been in the game before.
Yeah.
Even after his retirement. But I think he'll be the guy next year. But I'm addicted to it, man.
Same. Since I started playing, when I got did I play 2023? I think I may have. So since when I started back again playing, I remember I never owned MLB The Show when I was a kid growing up. I played it at a couple buddies' house and stuff, but didn't like buy it myself and like become addicted until around 2023. And a lot of us, you know, on the road in Blackstone Cherry, me, our singer Chris, and some of our road crew guys, like, we love playing it. It's been a saving grace, you know, when we're sitting around waiting for the show to start, or it's one of my go-to games. I love playing, you know, on those long plane rides and stuff. And
you want to hear something kind of sad? So
what's that?
I got addicted to the packs, right? When I first started, which by the way, if you play now, do not buy packs. Don't waste your money on the packs. Because you'll get to a point where you'll get addicted to buying the packs, and then you'll actually spend money on stubs to buy more packs. I was going to like GameStop and stuff and trading in games for like cash to justify me buying stubs to get more packs. Ultimately, to get nothing. I was at the time, everybody, which he's kind of gone down now, but everybody was wanting Mike Trout because he was the most expensive one. I probably spent, you know, enough money on stubs that I could have just bought Mike Trout. But me at the time, this would have been like in 2016. I can't remember when Diamond Dynasty actually started. It was like 2015, 2016. I think it was the year that it was either the year that Yasiel Puig was on the front, or Miguel Cabrera. I don't remember which one. But I got addicted to the buying the packs. And now I've learned my lesson. And if you just play the game, if you continue to play the game, you build your stubs up anyways. You got all these YouTubers that are, you know, that's their career, is playing MLB The Show on YouTube.
One of my favorites is the mini games, the 3-inning games, or just playing against CPU and just grinding out, you know, with cards that way to unlock more cards and stuff instead of just spending on stubs.
Little trick, if you're trying to grind, if you're trying to grind to build your stats, play versus the CPU 9 innings. Away.
Play the White Sox.
I was going to say the Colorado Rockies.
Or the Rockies, yeah.
I have probably played the Colorado Rockies this year 500 times.
Yeah. Same. I go back and forth between them and the White Sox.
Because that's just
some
the
of the minor
league. If you play the Rockies. But yeah, you play the Rockies at Coors Field, you're gonna hit at least 10 homers a game.
Yeah, or like Ship It Stadium, like some of those.
Or Ship It Stadium, yeah.
That's always a fun one. I love it.
But I will, with baseball being over now, I will be playing even more MLB The Show.
Oh, absolutely.
And like I said, I believe this Friday is the Team Affinity finest programs for each team. So yeah, I'll be grinding up until the next one that comes out. I believe in probably it's either March or April.
I'm with you. When I'm home, I don't get to play as much because, you know, I got my home schedule and stuff. The adulting stuff I got to do. But we leave out tonight to start our Celebrate tour. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be taking advantage of that this weekend, and I can't wait.
By the way, as far as me, I know I said I wanted A-Rod to be back next year. One other thing that I hope they really get into, right? You've got you've got college football NCAA hour right now, right?
Yes.
And it's
Yes.
so hot.
Great point right
This
here.
year, this year in Road to the Show, they dazzled a little bit with college baseball. You can only pick
And high
between like
school.
a little bit of high school. Um, and they dazzled a little. They messed around a little bit. I want to say with like 8 teams you could choose from. If
TCU, UCLA,
Vandy, Texas,
yeah,
I think LSU,
maybe some Florida
Tennessee,
schools. I can't
basically all
remember.
the big teams, a lot of the SEC teams and stuff.
LSU, yeah,
But if next year they could either incorporate more college baseball teams, that would be, and even to the point where you could play a season or something like that. I know you could.
yeah,
Well, Tyler, you're looking at probably making a brand new game. Cool, I would buy and I would play it. But if you could
absolutely.
somehow incorporate that, also, I'm just San Diego Studios. This is a free suggestion for completely free. If you could somehow incorporate college baseball, especially during the College World Series with your Diamond Dynasty, maybe former college players, get them cards, give them college baseball
Preach.
cards, packs that you can get,
He's
or
preaching.
make an
I love it.
event, using metal bats because there's metal
Yeah,
bats already in the game with
that
Showdown.
was a cool thing about the road to the show playing with the college
Just the
players.
sound of the metal bat.
Yeah,
Like do an event for a week or 2 weeks where anybody you play online, everybody has metal bats.
yeah,
Give
aluminum
freaking,
bats.
Sammy Sosa a metal bat.
God,
Shohei
imagine.
Ohtani with a metal bat. He'd kill somebody,
Give us a Barry Bonds card and give him
Yeah.
an aluminum bat. Dang it.
But that's yeah. I wish they would do that.
That would be so cool. And we'll end with this. There's already a big, hefty list going on for notable
Oh
free
yeah,
agents
yeah, yeah.
in 2025 to 2026. If you're listening, if you're not watching the video and you're listening through audio, I'll go through some of these names for you. Pete Alonso. We got Bo Bichette on here. Shane Bieber's on here. Bellinger. Alex Bregman. Eugenio Suarez. Zach Gallen, Jack Flaherty, to name a few, Josh Naylor, Framber Valdez, of course, Kyle Tucker, Michael King, and the list just keeps going. Devin Williams. It's going to be interesting to see where these guys go. But if you had to pick one pitcher and one batter that you feel kind of confident in, you think either they're going to stay or they're going to go, who would those guys be off this list?
I'm gonna say, after watching this World Series and with their fan base and where their organization is right now, if you're Toronto, you have to keep Bo Bichette. I think the Toronto Blue Jays.
And if you're the Cubs, you have to go after Bo Bichette.
I think Toronto will re-sign Bo Bichette.
Yeah.
And as far as a pitcher, I'm going to say, just based off this list,
We know Robert Suarez is out.
Yeah, Robert Suarez.
Padres.
Well, as I say, he's a free agent right now, right?
Mm-hmm. That's official, I think, as of today, I believe, November 4th, 2025.
I'm gonna be a wuss cake, and I'm gonna say that Ranger Suarez goes back to Philly. I think with what Philly has done, I get it. You're losing Kyle Schwarber. You're losing JT Realmuto. Even though you can bring those two guys back, I think between those two, I think Schwarber would. I don't know, because Realmuto's been big for their franchise, but you've got to keep Suarez if you're the Phillies, because you don't know Zach Wheeler. He may be done for the rest of his career. You have no idea. And Ranger Suarez is one of the guys that helped you get. I know you wanted to go a little bit farther, but Suarez is a guy that got them to where they were. So I think my prediction is two guys staying in the same spot that they were: Ranger Suarez with the Phillies and Bo Bichette with the Blue Jays. Who you got?
I love it. I'm going to go with, as far as who stays, I may do who stays, who goes. I should have maybe coined it that way with pitchers and batters. So I think for batters, Josh Naylor is going to stay with the Mariners, even though last episode we brought it up how he put a comment on Cal Raleigh's Instagram post that kind of looked like
Yeah.
he was saying his goodbyes, I guess, just in case if it doesn't work out. But I think the Mariners are going to keep him there. As far as who goes,
I will say
I
also
think
real quick, you can't say Flaherty. Flaherty just picked up his option with the Tigers.
oh, gotcha.
Like that just happened a couple hours ago.
So that's good for Tigers fans. Get to look forward to that. I think Cody Bellinger goes from
Where's
the
he going?
Yankees. I'd like to see him. I think he goes to the Cincinnati Reds.
Oh, he hit
Wouldn't that
40
be
home.
something?
He hit 40 home runs in that ballpark.
He could, dude.
That's an interesting one. Yeah,
That would
need a
be
bat,
interesting.
dude. They need a bat, and yeah, he's a guy that
That could help him
maybe
close
in the
gap.
Reds. He may be in the Reds price range too, because the Reds have been notable not to give up those large contracts. And I don't know if Cody Bellinger is going to cost. I mean, he had a good season last year, but I don't know if he's going to be in that upper tier contract thing. I don't. But yeah, that'd be a big pickup for the Reds.
And as far as pitchers, I think the Blue Jays will probably end up signing Shane Bieber, and I think he'll stay up in Toronto.
He's a guy I want Chicago to look at.
Right, that would be nice.
It would be nice.
And I think Robert Suarez is going to go to the New York Mets because Edwin Diaz.
Ooh, you think he's going to replace Diaz?
I think he could replace Diaz.
That's big. I mean, they did get which I was about to say, because they just got didn't they trade for Ron Helsley last year? But he wasn't he wasn't good at all for the Mets. Who knows? But yeah, that'd be a big pickup for the Mets as far as taking Suarez over
Yeah, and I'll throw a bonus one in there for the both of us. Kyle Schwarber to the Cubs, baby.
Oh, okay.
We'll see what happens. So make sure you tune in to Cubs on Tap with Tyler Edmonds and the co-host there. I'm sure they'll be talking all things Cubbies.
That's the thing about this offseason. There's just going to be so many rumors and so many just.
Oh yeah.
This guy's interested. This team's interested. I don't know. It's always that way, but it's exciting. It is. It's exciting. After. There's like a dead period. There's a dead period, and then I feel like around December-ish is when you start hearing stuff. And yeah, it's fun,
Absolutely.
man. It's gonna be interesting.
It's fun, and we're here for it. We'll be here all throughout the postseason this year, and be making content when we can. We're going to try our best to put out a new episode every week if we can, depending on what's going on. Maybe there's just not a lot of stuff going on. We may skip a week, but we're going to keep consistent content out for you guys right here on the Dugout Dispatch. Again, I'm Steve Joel. This is Tyler Edmonds, and thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.
Later.